What's up, guys? Today I'm finally going to be showing you guys how to use a multimeter tester. Okay, um, this model I have, it's I don't know, it's quite different from what most of you have. But if you have this model, then lucky you. This one can measure both AC and DC. But if you have the one that can measure just DC, you're probably fine because I don't know why you're looking for alternating current. Well, when your multimeter comes newly, when you open the wrap newly, the dial should be at the diode symbol over here. I don't know if you can see this, but that's for continuity test. Yeah, continuity test is just to check if a circuit is complete, if current can flow through a circuit. Now, assuming the cords are not in place and it's at continuity, if you want to check continuity of any circuit, you just put on your multimeter. It should show you 1. Then your black cable should always be at the common. Yeah, I think it's the same for all multimeters, but yeah. Now you can vary this to this side and this side, and I'll show you what these guys are for in the later part of this video. So now to check if we have a complete circuit, so when you like pass the red and the black cables through the circuit or through the points where you want to know if the current can flow through, you should hear a little beeping noise like this. Now what the multimeter actually does at this point is that it sends a little amount of voltage and current throughout that circuit. If it's complete, you should hear the beep, but if it's not complete, you won't hear nothing, and you know you have a wrong circuit over there. Okay, now the next function we're going to try is checking off the voltage. It's one of the most basic things you have to do. Now, I'm going to be showing you the voltage of this battery. Obviously, we know it's a 9-volt battery, but assuming you don't know, I think you should start with 2 volts. Assuming you don't know the voltage of this battery, you should start with 2 volts, because mine has from 200 millivolts, and if you can see that, to 200 millivolts to 1000 volts DC. But the good thing with this multimeter is you can also do the same for AC. It has 750 volts to 200 millivolts to 750 volts AC. And when we get over to the current, I'll explain that later. So now, assuming we want to measure the voltage of this, I said 82 volts. But to make this video short, I just gotta say it's 20 volts because I know this is a 9-volt battery. But assuming you don't know, all you have to do is just you keep going up and up and up till it gives you a certain voltage. Normally I would just start with 200 volts, but since I know this is 9 volts, I'll start with 20 volts. Okay? Yeah. You connect your black lead to the negative and the red lead to the positive, and you should get 9.39 volts. That if this was an alternating current source, which it can never be, I will have to just switch my dial down to the alternating current sign. I just want you to take note of these symbols over here. This is for DC. Okay? Seriously, you should know that. And this is for AC. The alternating current symbol. You just need to switch it down to from 200 millivolts to 750 volts. You just have to determine your range. Now, we're going to check the current of this motor, and I think that should be almost about it. Yeah. You go to current for DC. This is the symbol. It's the symbol for DC, and this is amps current. But if we're going to check for AC, we'll go down here. Okay? But let's check for DC. Now, let's start with 2 milliamps. Yeah, and don't forget to switch your red cable to either the milliamp socket or the amp socket. This multimeter has a maximum of 20 amps, which means that if you pass anything more than 20 amps into this shit, it will roast the circuit. Okay, and of course our 20 amps is not fused, but our milliamps is fused. Okay, once you get to 10 milliamps, it'll just break a fuse and won't let you continue. So I'm going to start with milliamps because I'm setting it to milliamps. Okay, to cut the long story short, all I did was I just moved it to 20 amps. This shouldn't give me up to 10 amps, so 20 amps should do the trick. But when you set it to 20 amps, just make sure you set your cable to 20 amps. Because if you set to milliamps, it will not give you a correct reading. Yeah. So let's try this shit. And okay. We have 0. We have a range from 0.8 to 0.85 amps. It's not up to an amp, but yeah, it's still good. At least I don't know what you're doing with 1 amp in a circuit, but this is good. Now remember, some things you have to note. When you're checking for continuity, do not check the continuity of a power source, because your multimeter is already a power source. So if you pass current into something that already has current, well, I don't know. It gonna spoil the shit. It happened to my friend, so I don't want it to happen to you guys. Now another thing you should note is that if you want to get a steady voltage reading, like this kind of fluctuates, especially when your battery is low. Well, for example, I'm taking the reading for 9 volts. I connect my lead. So yeah, I connect my leads. I'm doing this with actual long handle. Yeah, I'm getting 8.12. Yeah. So if I just want to keep this steady, I just press hold. When you press hold, it just freezes. You can't do anything unless you remove it from the hold. Then it will just go back to normal, or it will go back to a higher voltage if you change your cables to a higher voltage. Well, I don't think there's any much you need to know. Just know when to set your dials and when to move your cables. If you are using voltage, remember, for voltage and current. Yeah, speaking of current, your multimeter should also be able to measure current. Sorry. Um, the multimeter should also be able to measure capacitance, which is indicated by the microfarads and stuff. And it should also be able to measure resistance, which is indicated by ohms, the symbol for resistance. So if you're measuring for voltage and resistance, your red cable should be here. Then your dial should obviously be around here, and this just this whole area. But when you're measuring for current, your red cable will be at either 20 amps or the milliamp range. Your black cable should not go anywhere. You don't have to worry about that. It's a constant. It's just like the ground cable. Okay. So I think that's all you need to know about using a multimeter. I hope you learned at least something from this video. Thanks a lot, and God bless you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.